I think burnout is something a lot of people can face. It's a term that I think is relatively new, but it almost kind of, at least my perspective, probably always existed. Burnout is something that, you focus a lot on making things constantly and focusing on making it the best you can, but eventually you get to a point where you're just tired of doing it and you want to stop. And for most people, they'd be like, why stop now? You're already this far ahead. But if you go too far, when you start thinking about it, you'll eventually might end up hurting yourself in the long run. It's kind of like, overexerting your muscles. If you do too much work on your muscles, you might, tear something. You might make it too sore to work normally. It's kind of why I say there's a similar comparison to be made for burnout. Your brain in its own way is a muscle. If you overexert it, you're going to get too tired to work on stuff later. In some way, maybe perhaps burnout is one of my fears, that I'll get so invested in a project and I'll be a third of the way there, and then I am already I don't want to do it anymore. And that's sort of a fear I deal with on a daily basis when it comes to the videos I make. I guess it's kind of nice though that I don't have a set schedule for myself. I don't make up a schedule that I'm going to be like, okay, it's going to be consistent. I'm going to be constantly posting every so often, whatever, except for special occasions. There's special occasions like this series going on, or the other series I made, Una Sabatorum. Those were things that were special occasions, but I don't think I could constantly post, extremely high quality stuff. I'd have to stop and think about what I'm doing every now and then and give myself an opportunity to just rest and experience what's going on. It's kind of what's holding back the Three-Side House as a project. Aside from all the work I have to do outside of it, like for my own job and school and all that. Aside from that, that's one of the main things that is keeping me from working on it. But the other issues come down to, I don't really know if I want to push myself to make it. Should I just put it on the back burner and instead do something else? What if there's something more important that can come from just, letting it go and work on it a different time? I don't entirely know. It's why projects of my own, I always just try to see what I can do. I've been thinking of moving the Three-Side House to, maybe a different channel, and just use this one as my own export and just see where it goes. I never made this channel as a specific. When I started off this channel, I never made it as a specific, thing I was going to do. I was never going to be like, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm only going to do this. I made it a variety channel. I made it whatever comes to mind, whatever works out, and I feel like that's always kind of been my motto. Even if the Three-Side House was a project that I wanted to, change up things with. There's never going to be a final thing for everything I make. There's always going to be something new I can make. But I don't want to reach a point where I have to focus on getting to the end. I don't want to reach that point where I'm thinking about, am I getting close to an end? Or am I only just going to keep chasing more and more and more and more and never know is this enough? Because me personally, I don't want there to be an end, but I don't want myself to feel like this is going on too long. It just kind of depends on if I can manage to get the right ideas out there. I won't lie, when making this video, I kind of just thought to myself earlier this morning, I was like, I'm behind schedule and I really don't want to make this video, but I don't want to drop this yet. I'm almost there. Just give me a little bit of opportunity. I guess I'm giving myself the opportunity I need. Just pushing forward. In truth, though, I really wish maybe I wish that this was a bit easier. Because I don't want to ruin everything I have going too early. Here's to hoping things still work out in the end.